Hi, I'm Mike Moon, State Representative for Lawrence County, Missouri. And we're wrapping up our 5th week in the legislature. I've got a question for you. How would you like a tax increase? Now, I'm not talking about just any old tax increase, but one specifically targeted toward fuel tax. A senator has introduced Senate Bill 623, which is a gas tax hike. And I want to get your input because I'm not for increasing taxes. But in your opinion, do you think that MoDOT needs more money? I was in a meeting with MoDOT this past December. During the meeting, they told us that they had plenty of money for their operations and infrastructure needs at this point. And the reason was the gas prices have lowered sufficiently where people are buying more fuel and they're traveling more. And so they have enough money at this point. So I need you to tell me, again, whether or not you support an increase in fuel tax, or if you think that we need to keep the taxes low and also work toward keeping prices low so sufficient fuel is purchased and there won't be a need for a tax increase. And now let's get even closer to home. There's another problem that we've been battling since 2013. At that time, I was made aware of a wastewater treatment problem that the city of Miller was having. In my investigation, I found that there are 364 cities across the state of Missouri who are out of compliance with an EPA rule concerning ammonia. Since that time, I've been working with the DNR, asking questions about what can be done to solve the problem with the increased limits in ammonia. Currently, the EPA allows 1.8 parts per million of ammonia to be in the discharge effluent coming from the wastewater treatment facility. In Miller, they use 2 lagoons to treat waste coming from the city. And the tests over the years have been considerably higher than the 1.8 parts per million allowed by the EPA rule. This rule was based on the life of the freshwater mussel. And I'm all for environmental quality and maintaining good, clean water so that you can have sufficient water to drink and enjoy it in recreation and for fishing and things of that sort. But as I looked at the Miller plant, I found that apparently things on the surface appear to be good. The water coming out of the discharge was dumping out on a large green toad, and I thought that was kind of humorous that a toad would be essentially taking a shower from all the wastewater that had been treated. As I watched, the toad began to proceed downstream. As I walked downstream towards Stall Creek, I found that the aquatic life appeared to be in good condition. There was even a beaver dam right in the center of the creek. And this puzzled me a little bit because the EPA rule states that the limit is 1.8 parts per million, but yet there appears to be no environmental damage. I've heard of no reports of human illness either. And so I wonder what really truly is the concern. So my contention primarily is with the EPA's rule, and if 1.8 parts per million or above is not really harming the environment, why should we be forcing the city of Miller and 363 other cities across the state to upgrade their wastewater treatment facilities? It's going to cost Miller, if they comply with the current plan, about $1.5 million in upgrade fees. This increase will more than triple the utility cost for the residents of Miller. And I think that's too high a burden. In fact, the DNR in their affordability study found that it would place a high financial burden on all the residents within the city limits. So I think we need to take another look at what possible solutions there might be. Recently, I've come into contact with a company called Heartland Environmental Distributors. They're located in Kingdom City, Missouri. And in talking with these individuals, I found that they produce and provide solutions for problems in the oceans, lakes, streams, ponds, and even wastewater treatment lagoons like we have in Miller. They analyze the problem and then develop an environmentally friendly solution to take care of whatever situation is occurring. And in Miller's particular case, an increase in ammonia levels. One of the things that really encouraged me is the price for the treatment. And in talking with them, they told me it cost $40. And I thought, well, $40 per resident, it's still a little higher than I expected, but it's not quite as high as the DNR affordability study produced. But they told me it's $40 per treatment for the entire city. $40 a month. That's a far cry better than $1.5 million. So I encourage you, stay tuned to these capital reports. We'll provide you updates on the problem that we're having in Miller and 364 other cities across the state. Our email address and phone number is at the bottom of the screen. So if you have concerns or comments, please call. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.